Hey, my name's Jack Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about an area that's now charging landlords if they want to rent their property on Airbnb. This will also be a charge that will be levied on those that have short-term accommodation for holiday lets, whether it's Airbnb, Booking.com, or any other method that you're using to get those short lets. Now, the goal of this is to make sure those properties are safe, that they're giving quality accommodation and not causing people that go on a short let holiday any kind of issues. So in this video, we're going to break down what's happening, how much these are, and is this going to roll out everywhere in the UK over the next few years or not. But before we jump into that, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We're on the way to 52,000 subscribers. We just hit 51,000 subscribers over the weekend, so thanks to everyone that subscribed. And by subscribing, you'll get all the latest house price news, interest rate news, property investing tips, and much, much more. And let's get some views on this video. Your part is simple. All you need to do is smash like, tick a like, do something to that like button. That helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that really does help the channel grow. So thanks to everyone that does that. So, Airbnb. This is something that's not massively popular by certain councils. I'll give you an example. So, in London, they have a rule in the Greater London area that you're only allowed to rent your property on Airbnb for 90 days. 90 days in a calendar year. Now, some people do get round that by listing it on the other platforms, Booking.com and places like that. But ultimately, most people go to Airbnb first. That's their first choice for a short let. By far, that's where most of the bookings come from. So Airbnb, they actually stop the bookings after that 90-day period. So you can't get round it with them. But in Wales, they're looking to take things one step further. What they're proposing is that there's a license fee in order to have a short let property. Now, that's going to put off some landlords from doing this, but the fee at the moment isn't that much. So the license fee is going to be a fee of £75. So it's not going to break the bank, but there are going to be some pros and cons by having this kind of thing. So that's what I wanted to really discuss here. And so what I feel this does is it levels the playing field. So that's important to understand. And so what do I mean by that? Well, what it does is it means everybody's going to have this license, and this will push some of the bad Airbnb properties out of the market because they're actually going to inspect the properties. We talk about licensing on this channel quite a lot. There's something that many councils have called selective licensing, which can be up to £1,000 a year. And with those, nothing really gets checked. The councils don't check the properties. And so that's something that you've got to keep an eye on. With this one, a smaller fee, but they are going to check. And so that will push the bad people out. This makes the rules clearer. That's important as well. So everyone will understand what they need to do to be a landlord, to run a property in Wales. And so that's good because it makes the barrier to entry a little bit higher. And so when anybody can run an Airbnb property, you just get terrible quality sometimes. I've stayed in some in Doncaster, for example, where the quality of the property is awful. And so by having a license, if they had it in that area, there would be an inspection, there'd be rules and regulations, and that would push some people out of the market. And if you run an Airbnb business, this is actually, I believe, good news for you. Because if you follow the rules and you do everything that they ask for, then you'll have less competitors in that market. That's a good thing here. Look, you could also potentially, prices might go up as well. So if less people are running Airbnb, it's supply and demand, you're going to be able to put your prices up. That's good because you'll make more property. Very similar to what's happening with the Renters' Right Act. So lots of landlords are leaving. There's a shortage of rental supply at the moment. And we've done surveys on this channel where most landlords, more than 70% of landlords, are going to be putting their rents up due to the Renters' Rights Act. So that's interesting to see how that goes. Now, the cons are new costs. Obviously, nobody wants more costs in their business, because not only will you pay for the license, but you might have to change, amend, adapt certain things in your property. And they could be, for example, that you might need to do a new EICR, you might need to put new smoke alarms or heat detectors in certain rooms, you might have to put some fire doors in. These things will be determined by the council, but that is for everybody, don't forget. It's not just going to be for you, so all these properties would be safer. The basic risk as well is a refusal that you don't get the license. Now that could be a problem, because maybe you don't have a heat detector or a smoke alarm or a fire door that they're now going to require. And by not having that, that means you're going to lose bookings potentially. Now, you will then have to get that done, which will take time. So all of that time you won't be able to take bookings. And then you've got to get rebooked in to get another inspector out to check the property is now signed off and everything's good. Now, I've had problems with building control in a similar way. So I had a property where I added a bedroom into it. And when you change anything like that, you need to bring everything up to building control standards, to the modern building control standards. So hardwired smoke alarms, hardwired heat detectors, fire doors. And the first person that came round said, look, this is what you're going to need to do. And then I did all of that, got a second person round to sign it off. And they said, I don't like your front door. I want you to get a fire door on that front door. Now, this door was of strange shape. It had a big glass thing in front. He said, I want it to stay as it is. And that meant that I had to spend $4,000 on getting a custom bespoke fire door UPVC thing made. And it took a couple of months to get it, meaning I couldn't rent out the property for that time. This sort of thing could happen if you're not organised and ready. So this is something that's happening in Wales, but I think it could happen in other areas of the UK too. You see, what people do is they look at what's working, what generates income and revenue and improves quality around the UK. So I think you'll see more of this happening. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And if you haven't done, do grab our ebook, Mortgage Secrets. Thousands of people have grabbed this now. This will give you all the latest deals on how to find the best mortgage rate, how to find the best broker. It's in the description. It will also be in the first comment as well. Do make sure while you're here, you smash like, you subscribe to the channel. And we've got 1,500 videos on this channel now. So go and check out some of that content on there, because you can really understand what's going on in the property market. Not only that, we'll teach you some of the real stuff that you need to do to become legal and to make sure that you're compliant and making more profit in your property business. So do check out all that other content. Do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.